Alright, for the first time, I've got something new and different to work with. It's the Honda CM450. It's a Honda, and it's got 450 stuff of power, Japanese muscle. I don't know, 450cc presumably, 1982. It's been sitting for, well, the last it registered was in 2010. The gentleman that it was purchased from said it hasn't been running since then. It did run good at that point in time, and then I'm not sure the reason why, but it just wound up sitting. The battery hasn't held a charge in probably 10 years. I did trick the smart charger into turning on, and it is taking some charge, so that's good. I've been able to confirm that we do have some level of working lightage. High beams, we've got signals. So that's nice. You know, functioning electricals, which is good. We've got a tutor. Kind of nice. Yeah. Brake light works on the pedal. Yep. So, nice thing is, all the electrics are there. The indicators, though it's a little hard to see the high beam one, but it seems to work. The OD must be the overdrive light. So, I don't actually know. I'm going to assume this has 5 gears. I've not looked into anything on this. I have no idea what the difference is between the red dot and the P. I know if I put it to P, those lights go out, the tail light stays on. I have no idea the function of that. I'm going to have to look into that, I guess. Let's see. This is, if you can kind of see, it looks a little rusty in there. And it smells fantastically well of varnish. Like, probably some of the worst varnish I've ever smelt. And what am I doing wrong here? There we go. I got to push on it further. The little steering lock works. The helmet lock works, which also has a chain to hold the seat down, which is kind of nice. I got the little side cover there for that side. So yeah, it's all complete. Someone had strapped on some extra pegs here that, I don't know, seem kind of silly because they're really kind of high up. I don't know, maybe there's some function to them. So I'm going to start by, I haven't tried cranking it yet, and chances are the battery is probably not going to have enough juice. But I don't want to crank it until I get the intake and everything off, because God knows that there's like a mouse nest in there. Pull the spark plugs out, spray a little PB blast in the pistons, do a few things. It's got a little dent in the tank. All in all, it's not bad. Obviously, the tires are a little shot, but they're not like horribly shot, which is good. So, you know, but in the time it's going to take to kind of get it going and be able to test ride it, I think they'll be fine for 30 miles an hour anyways. They're not completely flat, so that means they've been holding air for a long time, and I reckon that's pretty good. It shows 5,500 miles on it, so that's not too bad. It's nice that it has a key, it has a title and everything. So like if you want to get technical, it's not my first motorcycle, but it will be the first motorcycle I will have to ride, because my first motorcycle has been in parts ever since I got it, and it's a bit of a long-term project. It's you can kind of see the forks of it right there, but that's a 76 Harley Shovelhead, and that'll be a future Vajeo. But so yeah, I'm gonna see what it's gonna take. I'm gonna pop the seat off, pop the tank off, and see what I can do to get this intake apart. So far, so good. Got the fuel line disconnected, pulled the tank off. Just one bolt for that. The seat was just clipped on. That was really easy. I'm assuming there's an air filter element of some sort there. I don't know if there's a bolt missing there or not. And I guess it's attached. I guess I'll take this off and kind of see what's underneath here, I suppose. Alright, so there's an air filter. Looks pretty clean. Got a little O-ring there that seals it. And not seeing much going on in here yet. Some sort of breather apparatus inside here. And whatever is specific about this air box, I don't really know what HM447 means, but whatever it is, it's HM447 as fuck. So it's serious, whatever that means. Looking further, this box appears to obviously all kind of be one piece to the carb. I'm guessing maybe if I unbolt this will get it out of the way and maybe expose something else I haven't seen. And I'll probably unbolt, take the battery out, pull the battery tray out. That might need to come out of there as well. Something. I guess we're going to find out. So I took the bolts out, and before I go too far into this, I've decided I really would need to make sure that this thing spins over. I also saw something rotate on my phone. I hope that didn't make the video upside down. I guess we'll find out. So I pulled the spark plugs out. They both actually, they look okay. You know, worn but not shot. So I set them both up on the cylinder head like this. Poured a little bit of ATF in each throat just to give it some lubrication. Well, let's see if she spits anything up. It sounds promising. Oh yeah. Spark. That's good. Oh yeah, battery's getting down, huh? Battery's taking some juice. Oh, I pissed off the smart charger though. She ain't too happy now. So I'm about to pull the battery out anyways. I'll do something to kick that back into charging. But the battery is taking some juice, so yeah, it might kind of sort of come around. Maybe come around enough for the purposes of trying to get it running. And if all goes well, I'll just buy a new battery. But so now I guess the next step is to unplug some of this so I can get it out of the way and see what else I got to do to get these carbs out of here. Alright, so got the battery box out, and I'm thinking this fender had to come out, so I just pulled all the bolts out for that. There. This little plastic inner fender. And basically it had these long bolts through these tubes, a couple of short ones here, one here. Simple electrical connection for the tail light. That's out of the way, and I think that might make it. Oh, I unbolted this little tray too. It was just one little bolt in the middle. It's kind of funky. In fact, you know what? My phone fits perfectly in here. It's almost like, you could keep your phone in there. The battery box only had 3 bolts holding it in, so that wasn't too bad. That came out with relative ease. So, I mean, as far as this thing is concerned, I mean, I'll loosen this one up some. I don't think I have yet. I don't know. Like, that's frame. So it just butts up against there. I have got to look underneath and see if there's anything holding it in on the bottom. That I don't really know yet as to what in the world is down there. Okay, on the other side, I did find a bolt right down in here, and it's actually got a little collar and washer on it. So we'll make sure we keep those together. But I don't know, maybe it wiggles now. So I kind of wiggle it off of the carburetors a little bit. I mean, there's breather tubes and things in the way, and this wiring. Just kind of, these little clips just kind of bend and twist together. So there's the taillight wiring. Just push that aside. So it might just have to be these tubes on the bottoms that I have to get undone If I wheel my ass over here, I think I'm fighting these. Of course, it's facing the other damn way. I don't know. Oh, well, I can rotate it at least. Let's see if I can get these off. Alright, put those out of the way. And this clamp is weird. I mean, this is literally like a clamp that's designed to hold both ends on this little union. That's kind of funky. I've never seen that before. The little hose there just kind of slipped off. That's just the breather. It goes up to the valve cover. So that's an easy one. I might be taking that out of the way anyways. Something like that. I'll have to fight with that. But now I got to figure out taking these little guys off to begin with. I'm thinking I'm going to have to start with taking this brace off. I see there's the choke mechanism, and that seems to work. So that's good. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe I want to leave the brace on because, I mean, everything's connected together. So if I can take this out as a unit, boy, that would be good. I've never dealt with anything with twin carbs other than my snowmobile, and the snowmobile was a lot easier, so I don't know, this is interesting. I guess we'll see. Okay, so I managed to persuade the cards to pop off of the boots with a little pry bar and some gentle tugging. And then the cables I thought might become a problem, so these brackets that were right here, two 12s on either side, and then a 14 bolt running through. I took both of these brackets off as part of the motor mount. Kind of give myself some more space to try to weasel this carburetor assembly out of here. Just got a little breather tube there. But there we go. And now I can get a much better look at this thing. Check the throttle action and all that good stuff. But boy, this looks not too bad. Let's see if I can get a little... Those must be like... They're not moving up with the throttle cable, so I wonder how that works on this thing. Might be a little more complex than I think. Well, I just got to pop the cables off or something here and take a look further. Or maybe I'll try to clean it with the cables on, just so I don't have to fight with it, because everything seems to move right, and I just don't want to have to deal with that as a problem. And I'm not doing a full carb rebuild anyways. I mean, we're just going to try to clean it out. So I'm going to pop these bowls off and try to blow the jets out and stuff like that. So maybe I'll start with that and kind of see where we go. Let's see what's what. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I cracked all the screws loose. I'm going to start by taking off this little triangular spring-loaded doohickey here. I'm kind of guessing it's an accelerator pump is kind of my thought. But it's only on the one carburetor, so I'm not really going to claim to know. That, I mean, it looks a little dirty on the inside. You can't really see, it's too shadowy in there. But not too bad. Spring. And then, see if I can lift this out of here, huh? Without tearing it. It's attached to something. The good news is, the rubber feels great. It's still very flexible. So I'll just leave it loose for now so I can clean it. Maybe there's, on the inside of the bowl, something I've got to take off. Let's see if I can get this bowl off of here and kind of see what story that has to tell us. Just kind of little tap. Oh, there's some varnish coming out of there for sure. Let's see, what are we stuck on? This thing is somehow attached. What the heck? Oh, it's just a little rubber thing. Oh, that's ripe, you know? And that is just ripe as shit. So, oh yeah, this is an accelerator pump. That's exactly what it is. It just kind of pushes that there. And you can see this gelatinous ooze that's in here. This gelatinous ooze is why I don't even run regular 87 in my cars. I only run ethanol free if I can help it. There are some situations where I don't have a choice, but... And I mean, this is just schmooey as fuck. I'll kind of get you a look in here. I mean, you can see it's just, it's sticky. You know, it's legitimately sticky. So, I want to get these jets out and clean those. And let's get this other bowl off and kind of see what that looks like. Yeah, I'd wager to say this one's actually worse. I mean, there's literally just a pool of it sitting in there. And it is just slimy. Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, my guess is this thing probably sat, you know, maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years with bad gas in it. And then it wouldn't start after that. And then they just gave up and it sat and sat and sat until someone finally decided enough was enough and just sell it. So I guess we'll see if I can pop these jets out and get a look at what that's going to be. Luckily, the O-rings on here, I mean, they're smushed, but for the purposes of a basic revival, I think they'll probably be okay for now anyways. And I can kind of go from there. Okay, well, I got the 3 of the 4 jets cracked loose. This one is definitely going to be giving me some problems. Oh yeah, you can't see through that at all. I guess the real question is, I mean, these 2 jets, of course, should be the same. Completely plugged up. But this one, the concern is, can I mix these up? Oh yeah, I can definitely mix these up. And I have no idea what the difference is between them. So, I'm going to have to get a different spot for this one. Let me go grab a different tray. And then whether or not this mixture tube will come out too, kind of be the next question. Maybe I'll get a little needle nose vice grips and see if I can crack this one loose. Alright, vice grips worked. I was able to crack this one loose. Spin it out by hand. Yeah, she's gnarly. If it'll focus. Yeah, she's pretty bad. I mean, it's like there's foliage in here almost. Gosh darn. Question is, will these little tubes come out of there okay? Yeah. Nothing like using the wrong tool for the job, right? Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. Clean that up. What about this one? There we go. It's so sticky with this goo, it's almost hard to turn it by hand even. I mean, you can literally feel the thickness of it. Oh yeah, look at that. I mean, let's see if I can focus in on this or not. Jesus Christ. It's just, there's chunks. Literally chunks on it. Look at that. Disgusting. Well, guess I'll see what further can be done. See if the needles and seats are okay. Just kind of spray some cleaner on this and kind of see what happens. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to spray some B12 into these little bowls here. That way it can kind of soak. Same thing with this one. Spin it around like this. not trying to get high, but whew, she's a stinky one. So I'm going to put those two little secondary jets, the one that's got kind of chewed up in this little bowl here, let them soak. And the same thing here. I'm going to put these tubes in here, let them soak, drop the jet in, and there's the other one. I'll let those soak for a minute, and then I'll see if I can kind of spray them out further. So with the straw attached, I'm going to just kind of see if I can kind of clear some of these passages out. Sure, it's like there's a little filter here or something, but the other one doesn't have that. Interesting. Just kind of free that up a little bit. Give these another shot. And like these throttle blades, if I can open those up, I can just kind of spray these out. Flip this assembly over and let's see if I get some more of this shit cleaned out of here. Move this over here so I don't totally destroy it. Just kind of flammable stuff all over the ground, whatever. Not too concerned. Yeah, we'll let that dry and then I'll clean out these jets. Alright, so with those cleaned up, and I mean those jets were plugged up really good. One of them I actually had to poke at with a little needle to kind of open it up, but I managed to get it clear, and so that's all good and dandy. There was like a green gelatinous slime in the bottom of one of these bowls, so it's pretty bad. But now, I mean, we're silver, fairly clean. You know, I said this is not a proper carb rebuild. This is just kind of a blow it out and make it kind of clean and see if we can make it work kind of deal, you know. And that. These jets, this is the one that wasn't boogered up. Goes in this slot here, and then the other one, if I can grab it, come on now, it's gonna go here. And so with the screwdriver, we're just gonna snug these down, not too hard. They're made of, I believe they're made of brass, so they're rather soft. So it's one of those things that you don't want to crank on it. You know, I got these cleaned up pretty good, and so when I put the straw of the B12 through here, I had streams coming out of all these little holes. And that's what you want to see. You want to make sure you're getting fluid through all those little holes. So that's good. That is all according to plan. To bring those in, I'll snug them up gently with the incorrect tool. I'm too damn lazy to find the right tool. And And then these jets go inside those little tubes. I honestly don't remember the name for these tubes. I want to say they're like a mixture tube to help aerate the fuel as it enters the airstream, but I guess I'm not positive. But there we go. Other fun stuff will be, you know, putting these little bowls back on. I'm just going to kind of give this gasket a little wipe with the rag, get some of this loose material off of it. It kind of looks like there's some silicone in here, like someone might have previously been doing something silly here. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd just be doing the same dumb shit that I'm doing, so, I mean, that ain't really a big deal. I'm not going to expect anybody to be any brighter than I am, and I ain't that bright. But this way, then, we can just kind of screw these little bowls down. Now, I did find that there was a little tiny O-ring on this little guy here, and I did manage to save that. So, getting that part back on be a little more of a challenge. I might need to, I don't know, dab it with something. Good question. You know, make sure this gasket stays where it belongs. Yeah. I'm just going to try to put this on really gently and kind of see what happens. Alright, so I got the bowls all snugged back down, and now it's just a matter of trying to stick it back in here and kind of see where we go from there. See if we've got enough power to crank it, and so on and so forth. And kind of a good question. I guess I don't know how far I'll get tonight, but I guess we'll see, and we'll see what happens. Should slide this guy back in here. I think I'll put a little bit of like a silicone lubricant in these little rubber boots, just to kind of help it not only slide on easier, but just kind of protect things from ripping or giving me further problems later on. Well, here we are again, back at it on the next day. So the next plan here is to get this drain cock removed from here, drain the old varnish into this tank. So I'm going to see how that's going to go. It's got this large nut here, and see if this is, gosh, I can smell it already. Haven't even cracked the loose yet. Oh, you know why I can smell it? It's because it's draining out of the cap a little bit. That's okay. That'll help clean the garage floor. Maybe. I don't know. Ugh. She stinks something fierce. Let me tell you. Alright, well that's a good sign. That tube is still there. She's a little gummy on the inside. I'll have to clear that out. That tube, of course, is for the difference between the reserve and the regular part of the tank, because this bike doesn't have a fuel gauge. So you kind of rely on that reserve portion. Let's see if I can successfully make a gigantic frickin' mess here by draining this bad boy out. Yeah, screw the funnel. Oh, who's counting, right? Of course, without the funnel, you can't really tell. Oh yeah, it's flowing in there. And it's a nice yellow color. So that's just great. So we'll get this drained out, and then I'll clean her up and run some fresh fuel through it, drain that out. Choke on my own fucking spit. You know, good times, good times. Yep. That there's yellow, but not gold. I mean, the stuff that's spilled on the floor is not even evaporating. It's taking forever. It's just oil at this point. It's just, ugh. So I think I'll throw a little fresh gas in there and see if I can't, I don't know, kind of start clearing it out a little bit and clean that little valve up. I'll let it drain while I clean the little valve up, and then I'll put some fresh fuel in there to clean it out more. Well, I ran a little bit of fresh fuel through there. I got this guy all cleaned up. Totally different color now even. I got the inside port of there cleaned up. It was so gummed up I couldn't tell where the heck the dang port even was. So definitely flows through better now when I put the spray through the tube on the standard position here. Everything comes through just fine both directions. And then same thing with reserve, it comes from this little port here through here and vice versa, and just fine. So I reckon it'll work. Hopefully it doesn't leak. That's kind of going to be the real question. So we'll get it reattached to the tank and slap the tank on the bike, and I guess we'll see what happens, but we're getting closer. Alright, so plugs are back in. Everything appears to be connected. I threw a bungee over this just to kind of keep the battery from falling off, because the battery tray is not in right now. We'll just pull the choke out and see if anything happens. I mean, what's the hurt, right? Oh. Hey, it's actually firing out of both cylinders. Ooh, yeah. Turn the choke off. Yeah, I tell you, I don't know about that battery. Oh, we're gonna have to get another battery on there, but hey, that was pretty good. I was gonna grab the camera and try to move it to show it, but just didn't quite run long enough. She smells kind of sweet almost, even though there's no coolant. But shoot, that's not bad. Let's see if I can find something else to push a little more chooch into this thing. Alright, so I got a little jump pack set up here now to give it a little more power. Shirt change, not a different day, just shirt change. So, let's try that again. I'm going to try it with the choke off maybe, because she was kind of smoky. I don't know, we'll see. Now, she's not cranking, she cranks faster for a second, but I don't know. I'm going to pull the choke back on. Oh, come on. I know this jump pack's kind of crap, but seriously? Will crank in this mode? No. Well, poop. Alright, different jump pack. Jeez. I swear. Alright, made tiny jumper cables, hooked up to car battery. Maybe now we'll get a little more chooch out of it. Choke off, wasn't quite idling there yet. Close. I might have to try to bump the idle speed up a bit. See what that does. Choke to start. Ooh, that didn't feel good. What the hell? Huh. Well, the choke is still working. But somehow, I don't know, it's like the cable shield pulled through or something. Guess I'll have to look at that. Well, she's all back together now. Got a new battery for it. Got her all charged up. Installed that. Put the cover on. Still needs oil change and spark plugs, but I'm going to get to that pretty quick here. Carry out half choke. Maybe a little more. There we go. We'll let her warm up a tit, and then we'll take her for a quick burn. Installed it. Oh, I think there's a problem with the key switch. Oh, I lost all power altogether here. That's interesting. Let's see what we got here. phone mount's crap, but it worked for now. So not bad. It's a little sluggish here and there, so there might still be something issue with the carburetors, but not bad, all things considered. I think a little more tweaking, new plugs and an oil change, and I think she'll be good to go. But not too bad. Not too bad for the $300.